Hey guys, so today I just wanted to talk to you about, I don't know, just shit that's been bothering me. Just a chatty, get ready with me. I just need to put my makeup on. I really don't feel like it. I don't know if you know this about me, but I hate doing my makeup. I like the way that it looks afterwards, but doing it, I fucking hate doing it. I just feel like it's a waste of time. But anyways, I just wanted to talk to you about body image today and just shit that I've been dealing with or have dealt with my whole life, I feel like. So, I don't know. I don't know if you guys have heard me say this a bunch of times, but I'll be like, oh, I'm so self-conscious, I feel fat, I feel fat. Well, that's the way I've basically felt my whole life. I've always felt that I was fat. And I know like something can be like, you're not fat, but like, I don't mean fat as like, I really feel like I'm overweight or my health is bad because of it. It's nothing like that. I just have certain parts of my body that I hate and I feel like carry excess fat. Where like, I'm like, oh, my arms aren't that bad and like my legs from like the knees down aren't that bad, but other parts of my body I just really hate, and I've always had this, I don't know, thing, I don't even know if you want to call it a relationship with my body, where I just have always disliked it or hated it, whatever. I don't know if hate is a pretty strong word. It started way back. I mean, as far as I was what I want to say is I was overweight as a child. I was fat. And that's not an exaggeration. You know, I grew up, my sister was thin and I was the fat one. When I got older, it wasn't until I got older, I think in late middle school, maybe 8th grade, going to high school, that I realized, I was like, yeah, I'm fat. Because when you're little, you don't know. You're just a little kid and you don't care about that stuff, your appearance. All you want to do is play. So then I started to sort of try to work out to lose weight and to try to eat better, not as bad. Because all I ate when I was younger was literally like pasta and bread and stuff, and that's the worst stuff because it has so many carbohydrates in it, and that's why I was so overweight. And then once I got into high school, I had lost a little bit of weight and I felt a little bit better about myself. It wasn't until like my senior year and when I graduated from high school, I started to lose more weight, and I think I just changed what I ate. I think I was eating a lot of salads I would eat all the time. And I still felt bad about my appearance, but I guess not as bad. And then just over the years, I don't know what happened to me. I just became way more self-conscious because I think now everything is, you have to be skinny, you have to be skinny, you have to be thin, you have to be thin. And, you know, you have to be in shape and this and that, where I feel like when I was in high school and my early 20s, it wasn't that big of a thing. Now I just feel like it's crazy. But like I said, I've always just been self-conscious. I've always felt that I had a weight problem or just had a lot of weight in certain areas that I wasn't happy with. And I can't believe that now I'm in my late 30s and I still feel the same way. It's like, when am I ever gonna grow out of this? When am I ever gonna feel comfortable in my own skin? And I think my big concern is my stomach, especially my lower stomach. I just feel like I have excess fat there, and you know, it doesn't help. You know, I have my son and I feel like it got worse, obviously, and I feel like skin stretched and I just have looser skin there now, and I feel like it's unattractive. And especially, you know, I see myself naked all the time and I'm like, ugh, why? And I have tried to diet in the past, and only once can I say did I actually do a good job, and that's pretty sad. for at my age, I only was able to diet successfully once, and that was before I got married. I was like, I need to be, feeling good about myself for when I'm in my wedding dress and when I walk down the aisle. I had to take my hair down because I needed to air dry a little bit. So anyways, I went on the low carb diet, which is basically you only have about 30 grams of carbs per day. And that was really hard to do because you don't think that the things you think of with that have a lot of carbs are obviously bread and pasta and things like that, but you don't take into consideration fruit has a lot of carbs, some vegetables have a lot of carbs in them, and so then you're limited on what you can really have. So I think I was basically eating, for breakfast would be eggs, because that's basically all you could eat for breakfast was eggs, because it's, just pure protein. Cottage cheese, and what else did I have? I think that was basically it. So how boring is that to only have those two things to be able to eat for breakfast? And then, I love cereal. It was like no cereal, no oatmeal or any type of muffins or protein bar. Even the protein bars have a lot of carbohydrates in them. So if I did have a protein bar, I found that there were these protein bars called Pure Protein, and I think I don't remember how many, like say there was like 16 carbs in one. I would eat only half, and that was literally like that much. It was so small, and I would still be hungry afterwards. Besides that, then there was lunch, and it was basically a meat, chicken, steak, salads, totally fine because lettuce has like nothing in it. And so then I think I would have it with like blue cheese dressing because blue cheese is cheese. It doesn't really have any carbohydrates in it. And what else would I eat? Sometimes I would just go to the deli and buy cold cuts and just eat a couple slabs of like roast beef or a couple slabs of like turkey breast. And it was so, I don't know how I did it because it's just, I like to eat. Like, I feel like food is like part of life and like being happy. And I was just eating to make sure that I had food in my body and to eat. And it's like, you don't eat and it's not like, this tastes really good and I'm enjoying what I'm eating. I was not enjoying eating, and I don't know, I just feel like that's awful. And then dinner was basically the same thing. I would have some sort of vegetable, green vegetable. You can have kale, like a small amount of eggplant, zucchini, mushrooms, spinach, things like that. And then meat again. So it was always meat or cheese, something with cheese. And doing that diet, I went from, I won't even say I didn't really lose much as far as a pant size or dress size. I want to say I dropped maybe one size down, but I lost maybe like 15 pounds. No, sorry, between 15 and 20 pounds. So I am 5 feet 8 inches, and at the time I weighed between 140 and 145 pounds. And I dropped down to about 125, maybe a little bit lower than that. And that is the thinnest that I have ever been. And I was somewhat happy at that point because I was fitting into smaller clothing, but I still wasn't 100% happy with my body. And it had nothing to do with the number on the scale. It was just seeing the fat in the bottom, my lower stomach disappear, because that's what I hate the most. And I feel like that's the last area that the fat was going away from. And then of course, the diet ends, like, you get married and then you're just like, not so much because I got married that I stopped caring. It was, I could take a break from the diet, going on my honeymoon and wanted to enjoy myself. So I was eating whatever again, and obviously I gained all of the weight back because this weight, because I'm at that weight now, between 140 and 145, is basically the weight that my body wants to be at. I can eat like, not whatever I want, but I can be good with certain meals, but then at nighttime I can have a cookie and then I'll stay at this weight. But I hate going through life this way. I have gone through life since I was a teenager, hating the way that I look, thinking that I was fat, constantly being like, I'm going on a diet, I'm gonna be on a diet, and have the mentality that I'm always on a diet, even though I'm eating bad a lot of the times. And I'm just so sick of my weight being one of the top things in my mind. It shouldn't be. I should be happy and enjoying life and not have that be a major concern that's gnawing at me constantly. I'm just so tired of feeling that way. And to me, people can say, you look good, like you're thin, you're being crazy, you're being ridiculous. People can say whatever they want, but to me, I don't see it. And I'm like, oh, they're just being nice. Like, they just want me to feel better about myself. Like, I really don't, I'm really not thin, and they're just being nice. I just love food too much that it's just hard for me to not crave stuff all the time and make food the center of my day. First thing you wake up in the morning, what am I gonna have for breakfast? Oh, I want this looks really good, but I shouldn't have it. So then I end up eating something that I'm just like, it just tastes okay. It's like, why? Like, I wanna be able to enjoy food. It should be something that should be like enjoyable, and it tastes good, not be thinking about it like it's the end of the world if I eat like a muffin, I don't think I've shared with you guys how much it consumes my everyday thoughts is my weight, and I kind of just wanted to get it out and talk to you guys about it and see if anybody else is going through the same thing as me, because I feel like a lot of people do go through it. Like, weight is just a huge thing that affects everybody's lives. Or people can be on the opposite end of the spectrum where they're thin and they're like, I'm too skinny, I look bony, I look gross, I want to gain weight, and then they have trouble with that. And then, you'll have people saying to them like, oh, you're lucky, you can eat whatever you want, you don't gain weight. But maybe that's making them feel bad. Maybe they want to gain weight and they can't because of their metabolism, and then that makes them feel awful. So it's on both sides. I can totally see it, but I'm just talking to you guys about what I deal with, and mine's just feeling fat and overweight. I shouldn't even say it like I'm fat, because I can look at people who are bigger than me and I'm like, they look good. Like, they have nice curves and a nice figure, and to me, I don't have that. I think because of the way my body is proportioned, I hate it. I feel like I have small breasts, and I feel like, it's small boobs, and then my stomach, and then my gut comes out like this and then goes down, and I just feel, I felt like if I had bigger boobs, it would like balance my body out better, and I would probably feel better about myself. But yeah, and I have thought about getting breast implants though in the past, but I just don't think that it's safe. And I obviously don't have the money to get something like that. And at my age, I'm like, what's the point now? I'm like almost 40. I'm not gonna go and get breast implants at this stage in my life. But talking about boobs, I really thought that when I had my son, that my breasts were gonna get bigger because of, breastfeeding and stuff. No, I had the opposite. My boobs basically shrunk and didn't get big at all. And I was really upset about that. And I was like, well, I guess I'm just gonna be small breasted for the rest of my life. But, and then on top of that, I gained weight because, you get pregnant and gain weight, and I have not lost the baby weight yet. I'm still holding on to it. Another thing that bothers me is, I don't know if I said this before, is the loose skin. Like, it's not, if I'm just standing and you look at me, if I have no shirt on, you can see my stomach, then it's not that noticeable, I feel like. but but if I bend over, if I'm like bending over, or if I'm on all fours, I feel like my stomach hangs down, and it's so disgusting. And I'm just like, oh, like, I just want to get rid of that, but I would be too scared to have any kind of surgery or anything like that. So I don't know. I don't think there's any help in that department, you know? And you know, people say, well, you're a mother, you had a baby, like that's what happens, your body changes and stuff, but it's like, it doesn't change the fact that I still feel awful about how I look because of it. And like I said, I don't think that you guys know how much of my life my weight has consumed. It's just, it's probably like 80% of my life thinking about constantly, like, should I eat this? Shouldn't I eat this? I'm going on a diet tomorrow. I feel fat. These pants don't fit me. I look awful. You know, it's been a really difficult thing for me, and I feel like talking about it might help me a little bit. And I probably want to talk about it today because I was just really feeling bummed about myself yesterday for some reason. I just felt like I looked bigger than normal, and it just really got me down. I was like, maybe I should just talk about this. This might help me. So I would just like to hear from you guys if you yourself struggle with weight, either like you can't gain weight or you feel overweight, and then what you do to make yourself feel better about it or talk yourself out of it. Another thing I want to talk about, so we're getting personal today, and another personal thing that I wanted to talk about was my Patreon. I've started posting more personal things about myself on there. My personal life, because you guys don't know, I mean, I talk to you guys about some things, but not everything, or everything that I've done in my life, or I plan on doing, or things that are going on in my life. So I've had my Patreon up for a while, and I just thought that maybe this would reach more people and they would want to maybe support me if they were knowing a little bit more about me, like in-depth, like personal things. So there's starting to be more stuff on there about me, and I do have 2 Patreons right now who I appreciate like so much, just being there for me and supporting me and my channel. And I have it, my Patreon's linked below if you guys want to go and check it out, and if it's something you'd be interested in supporting me with, I really appreciate it, because you guys mean a lot to me. Having you guys here, you know, commenting with me, talking to me, becoming friends with you guys. And I didn't really, I mean, I have friends, but it's like I don't have a ton of friends, you know? And growing up, you get older and you lose a lot of friends, and you only end up having a small group of actual close friends or people that you can talk to, because, you know, there's just not people around who are of the, you know, like minds. And with the internet now, it's just easier to find people that you have things in common with, and you find you have a connection with and can talk to easily. So like I said, I appreciate you guys being there for me and listening to me and talking to me. It really means a lot. And so on my Patreon, in order to access the more personal stories and the personal videos, you have to become a patron to unlock it and to be able to view it. So yeah, that's it for me today, guys. I kind of just wanted to get that off my chest. Thanks for getting ready with me. I kind of just did like basic makeup. I still gotta finish it some more and blow dry my hair and everything like that. Being fat, yeah, I'm hoping someday in my life I'll get over it. Probably when I'm old, I'm like, don't care about my weight anymore, I'll be over it. But as of right now, like I said, it takes up a lot of my mind and my day. So I'd like to get over that somehow. But on what I didn't, also what I haven't said was, I never have had an eating disorder. I pretty much always try to diet in a way where I was eating and I was getting enough calories, and I wasn't anorexic and I wasn't bulimic. I've never been any of those, and not bashing people who that has happened to, because I can understand how your body can take over so much of your life and what you put in your mouth, that you're just like, I'm just gonna stop eating, or I want to eat this, then you throw it up. I can understand how that happens to people, because I feel like self-image is such a huge thing nowadays, especially more now with Instagram and, you know, all the social media sites where people posting pictures of themselves and all that. So But yeah, I've never had an eating disorder. I just basically always just tried dieting and basically failed at it. So, all right. That's it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for being here and listening to me. And until next time, stay dark, my friends. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye. I feel like that was a weak ass wave. Bye.